Hiya folks, just coming back on to show you another technique using your distress ink pads. This one is to stamp and make it look like a watercolour stamp. So, first of all, we need to put down some colour, and I'm just using my glass mat. You can, if you've got it, use your silicone pad, your Ranger heat mat, anything like that that's got a coated surface you can use. So I'm just putting some colour down. That was Spice Marmalade. Then I've got some peeled paint, and I'm going to put the peeled paint kind of in between the two colours. And then I've got mustard seed, which I'm going to add to both sides. And as I said, there is quite a bit of ink down there. Then what I do is just spritz it and let the ink do its thing. You can, if you wish, go in and move the paint about a wee bit, which I am going to do because there's a few wee baldish spots there. And what I do is just add water to my brush and just kind of merge them a wee bit, and that just helps with the fluidity of it. It just helps when you go to put your stamp into it, it will make sure that that water is making the colour go wherever it should go. And I'm going to add a wee bit extra water in here, so we can just bump that paint about a wee bit, or ink, sorry. On my brush. And then I'm adding a wee bit of water into the other side here where the green is, just again to make that fluid. And I'll add a wee bit more to the yellow here as well. There we go. So there's lots of water down there. Then all you're doing is, and I'm drying a wee bit here so I can put my paper down. Then all you're doing is putting your paper beside you. I'll see if I can tilt you enough so you can see both. And you're just putting your stamp straight down on top. And you've got plenty of ink on that. Then all you're doing is stamping straight onto your paper. Just give it a minute to transfer. And then lift. And you'll see you get like a watery effect background. Now if you want that water to disperse a bit more, if you think it's a bit patchy, and give it a wee spritz with water, and it will reactivate the distress qualities and make it spread out a bit more. And you can just tilt it to run it around if that's what you wish. It just helps you to structure where you're wanting your colour. So that's one. And as you'll see, there's still plenty of ink down there. So what I'm going to do is actually get out a more detailed stamp. I think I might even try and get a word stamp. That might even be easier. There we go, there's a happy birthday stamp, that's fine. So what you're doing then, I'll just dry that bit off before it runs onto the table. Where did I put that other bit of card? 2 bits of card in my hand a minute ago. Honestly, I am so forgetful sometimes the way I put things. Doesn't matter, I've got another bit here that I can use. I cut last night. So, all you're doing then is just empty, there's nothing on it. Putting it back in your ink. And if you want, you can do it a few times so that there's lots of ink on it. Like that. And then you're just stamping it down. Give it a minute to transfer. And then up. And you'll see it's like a watercoloured sentiment then. I think it's a fab, especially if you're doing a watercolour background. This type of idea is just great. And I'll just sprinkle a wee bit more water down there. And then you just, again, put your ink in. And I'm just making sure there's plenty of ink on it. And just to make sure that I'm not having too much, I'll just kinda stamp it off slightly and then just down. And up. Yeah, there's a wee bit too much on that at times. You'll see in the middle where the A and the P's been and the R, the water's went in between. So, as I said, it's totally your own. You can do as much or as little as you like. And I'll just stamp that off there a wee bit. See how this one looks. That's a wee bit better for the sentiment part anyway. As I said, it is a very watercoloured look, but there's a lot of yellow left on that now, so I'll just swipe that away and we'll use some other colours and see more vibrant colours on it. So I'm just going to give this a wee spritz to make sure I get the ink off it, which it is. And this time I think we'll go in with, let me see, I think we'll go in with some blues. So we'll have some Broken China, we'll have some Chip Sapphire, which is quite dark, and then we'll go in with some Tumbled Glass, which is very pale. And there's a lot of ink down there. So you're just spritzing over it. Make sure all the ink's getting to move about. And again, I'm just going to use my brush to just float about a wee bit. Still keeping it in its own sections, but making sure that it's coming up to the other sections. If that makes sense. There we go. And again, I'll just show you with I'll use the reverse for this. Sorry, it's a bit grubby on the other side, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing. And you're just putting your stamp into it, lifting it, give it a wee shake to make sure there's not too much on it. and then you take it over to your paper and stamp down. I'll move it up a bit so you can see it. And then when you lift it off, it's there, but it's not great. But if you're doing a watercolour, it's not meant to be perfect anyway, and there's still quite a bit of ink on that. So I mean, you can make quite a few different ideas out of it. Let's see what else I've got stamp wise on here. What's in your hand? In this one, this is a wee love heart. This is ideal. And I'll just show you on this one here. So for instance, we go in with the darker blue, and you're just stamping it on. Go in with the lighter blue, go over it, it's fine. Go over it again with a medium blue, and then you'll see the three colours, and yes, they're still a bit runny. If you want to bleed them out a wee bit more, add your water to them and just dab the excess off it, and you'll see it's a lot more muted now. Oh, another technique, I'll just wait to see if I can get a hold of some. I have some cloth at home too. Where's the hell did I put it? That's here. This is another great technique. And I'll use the reverse side. Oops. But just some bubble wrap. Wrap it round into a wee ball, so you've got a cushion surface, and then just pop it into your ink. And you can do it at different parts of your ink, and it gives you the most fab effects. And you can go over this as many times as you like with different layers of colour. But that's just using bubble wrap. And as I said, if you want to give them another colour, perhaps you want to go straight from the ink pad, that's absolutely fine as well. So we'll grab, let me see, one lipstick's quite a bright red pink, so we'll go in straight from there. And what I'm just going to move some of that over a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So this is my ink pad, and all I'm doing is just bouncing it on there, and you'll see it on the bubble wrap, and then just popping it down, ink it up again, popping it down. And if you want that to blend out a bit, you know what to do. A few spritz of water, and that will blend. You'll see it softening literally before your eyes. And you can do it again with, I don't know, I think about some green maybe. So we'll put that back on and we'll pick Mode 1, that's another bright colour, so you can see it better. You can do these muted tones as well. The only reason I'm using bright is so you can see them. And just to check if there's everything off your bubble wrap, give it a wee wipe over with your paper towel or your baby wipe, whatever you use. And then you've got your green on it now, and you can go in with just like that. And up here where it's really, really vibrant, give it a good spritz, and you'll see it starting to blend out. But if you don't want it to run too much, blur it off, and then you'll see it's a more muted green now, but still very green. And you can go up here. As I said, use your distress inks, try different things. You can braille with it, you can stamp with them, you can obviously edge with them. And another way, I'll just show you some of the distress. In fact, I'll come back to part 2 because that's a different idea. But that's how you're using your stamps to distress with new ideas. Okay, thanks for watching, bye for now.